With a lot of smartphones already available under the 15,000 price bracket, the Yunicorn adds another step of confusion. My name is Bharat, and today we're going to figure out if you should be considering the Yunicorn when it goes on sale on 7th of June. The Yunicorn was launched last week for a price of 12,999. After a lot of drama, the price was brought down from 19,999 to 12,999, and the phone will be sold after a month for 13,499. Now, in terms of design, it mimics a lot of smartphones available in the market already. You're looking at a Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 with a Meizu M3 Note mixed with an HTC and an iPhone, and you mix them all up together and you get the Yunicorn. It's quite identical to the M3 Note from Meizu, and a lot of people pointed that out. In terms of build quality, it is pretty impressive. You've got a full metal back, which is pretty solid. It weighs 173 grams, so it's hefty. It can take a lot of impacts and dings on the back. Over at the front, you have a scratch-resistant glass panel. Tested it out with blades, with steel, with pins, and no scratches on the display. So the scratch resistance quality initially seems great. It's not an impact-proof glass, so it's going to shatter if it drops on it. Now, running everything is the MediaTek MT6755 Helio P10 chipset. Now, the chipset is at 2 GHz in octa-cores, but Yo has underclocked it to 1.8 GHz to prevent heating. You also get the Mali T860 GPU. You've got 32 GB of onboard storage, which is quite impressive, and you can pop in a micro SD card up to 128 GB, though a 200 GB micro SD card also worked on the device, and we tested that out. You also get 4 GB of RAM. The display on the Yunicorn is a 5.5-inch 1920 by 1080p display. You do get a 2.5D curve on the display, so it curves in to the frame of the device. A lot of people were complaining about the blue tint in our hands-on video, and you can customize the tint of the display, and you can customize the brightness, saturation, contrast, all of those things, which is a fantastic feature. You can go into the settings panel and customize all of that. The display is decently visible outdoors. You can tweak around with the settings a little bit to make it slightly better, and the brightness improves a little bit, but viewing angles are slightly lower than what we'd expect. So there is a slight difference in terms of visibility indoors and outdoors, and the outdoor visibility could have been better. The display is quite reflective, and if that bothers you, you'll need to find yourself an anti-glare screen protector. Now, if we talk about the cameras, they're pretty much the highlight of the Yunicorn. Now, on the back of the Yunicorn is a 13 megapixel camera, which has an f2.2 lens. The camera is pretty quick on clicking pictures, but it's not the best that we've seen. You do get a bunch of features and capabilities on the camera application that allow you to use the camera to a decent potential, but if you want some more advanced features, a custom camera application or a third-party camera application is highly recommended. Video quality is average. It's not the best that we've seen. The camera is good at focusing. Again, it's not the fastest that we've seen, and it's nowhere near what laser focus capabilities are. And we've seen devices like the Zook Z1 focus much faster. The front camera is a 5 megapixel camera. It has an f2 lens, so images come out better. You also get autofocus, and both the front and the rear camera have great contrast. You get good saturation of colors. Again, image clicking capability and speed could have been much faster. You also get some of the other features like time-lapse video and slow motion video, which is at best mostly a gimmick. It's on there, but you won't be using it a lot. If you do want some of these features, again, as earlier, if you want time-lapse, you can download apps like Hyperlapse in case you want to do that. Now, in terms of performance, the Yunicorn is no mythical beast whatsoever. Performance, at least in benchmarks, is pretty average. Even though your day-to-day application usage and jumping between menus and homepage and home screens, etc., is pretty snappy, and we did not face any lag in that. But if you're doing things like high-end gaming, or if you're running performance-intensive applications, you'll see that the device tends to choke up a little bit and slow down. Games like Asphalt 8 will not run even on medium graphics with the kind of capability that you would expect, and that's possibly because the chipset has been lowered down to prevent the device from overheating. So that is something that you will have to trade off in terms of performance. If you're thinking about day-to-day usage, that turns out to be pretty good and snappy. The phone also has the Around application that sits to the left of the main home screen. It allows you to do a bunch of things. Now with the wallet functionality added into this, you can top up your wallet and pay for many of the services that are available. We tested it out. It gives you a lot of information from third-party applications, and basically everything that Micromax/You has invested in is now available in the Around functionality. The phone is still running Android 5.1.1, which is the most disappointing aspect of it all. Hopefully an update to Android 6 will be out soon. We've already seen the announcement for Android N, and Android M is nowhere to be found on this. So hopefully we'll get an update to that soon. You are running something called a steroid launcher, which does not offer up a lot of functionality or flexibility or customization. You do get basic things, and some of the icons have been changed. We would have preferred stock applications and stock icons, but you can get that functionality by using a third-party launcher. The phone is also missing an FM radio, which might be one of the most important things for some of the people who buy this phone. The phone does support USB OTG, and you also have a notification light that sits close to the earpiece. Now, in terms of preloaded applications, there is literally no bloatware except for the Gaana application, and I do not know why it's on there. Maybe to trade off for the fact that the device does not have a radio application, and the two U applications that apparently people use a lot. The phone and network capability is pretty solid, so are the Wi-Fi networks. You get 4G capability on TDD and FDD networks. You have dual nano SIM capability. We found that call quality was good, and audio on the earpiece as well as the microphone was pretty impressive. We found that calls were not dropping at all, which is pretty great as well. The battery is a 4000 mAh battery and will easily last into the second day, almost mid, even if you're a heavy user like us. We found that the 4000 mAh battery gave about 6 to 7 hours of talk time on 3G/4G networks. And if you forget to charge your phone, you can easily run into the second day without remembering to charge your device, which is pretty good. The phone takes about 3 hours to fully charge up the 4000 mAh battery, so it is a fairly slow process. Overall, it seems that you with the Yunicorn has brought down the flagship benchmark to quite a low price value, as well as a standard under the 15,000 rupee price bracket. You're not getting the best performance. You are getting impressive build quality, a decent set of cameras, and great day-to-day use. The UI mostly stripped off any sort of bloatware or any sort of customizations. You do get the around application, which should have been allowed to be removed, and you also get the 3 preloaded applications. But apart from that, it's mostly a stock experience. Hopefully an update to Android 6 will be out soon, so that this phone can compete with many others in this price bracket. But for now, if you're looking for a performance-oriented monster, the Yunicorn may not be your best bet, but you also have a lot of other options to choose from in this price bracket. The price of rupees 12,999 is pretty inviting though. If you like this review, guys, if you want to read more about the Yunicorn, you can go and read our full review on iGyaan.in. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to get more videos from us. This has been Bharat. I'll see you in the next one.